Hey, I'm Derek, it's me, Derek, and welcome to Stop Skeletons and Fighting. And we're gonna give a shout out to Shelby. This is not an ad, this is actually just Shelby watches the show and want to say thank you so much for watching, and also a huge thanks to Shelby's family for helping out the channel and helping out the show. So thank you so much. And with that said, hey, let's talk about rumbling controllers. Vibrating controllers are something we take for granted, but like all standards, there were the early days, and Nintendo in particular did some ridiculous stuff. Welcome to Punching Weight, where we celebrate the weird, ambitious, and unnecessary. And because progress is never a straight line, I'm gonna take you through Nintendo's history with rumble technology, that they're rocky, rough and tumble, shaky, rocky history with rumble. Do we have all that out of our system? Rumble made its debut on consoles with the N64 Rumble Pak. Nintendo is a company that's at its best when it's innovating, and the Rumble Pak is definitely among their greatest innovations. It's an extra layer of immersion that's so good that it became weird for a controller to not have some kind of rumble support. You ever wonder why controllers got so much bigger over the generations? Was it because our hands just got bigger? Was it for more buttons? Or was it to make room for that rumble? I mean, look at these guys! Look at these cuties, they're so small, look at them, they're all so small. Except the Genesis controller. Damn, that's a thick boy right there. Damn, Genesis controller, damn. Rumble, or haptic feedback, existed in video games before 1997, but it first came to the living room packaged with Starfox 64. That's right, I'm talking about the debut, baby, the N64 Rumble Pak. And that's Pak, not Pak. See how it feels to feel what you see, says the back of the box. It's a new jolt to your gameplay experience. It didn't hurt that Starfox 64 was an amazing game, but it also wasn't long before we started seeing Rumblepack support for almost every N64 game, from GoldenEye to Yoshi's Story to Wheel of Fortune? It's like I'm really there. I'm really spinning that wheel. I love video games. Star Fox actually wasn't that big of a hit in Japan, but Japanese exclusive re-releases of Mario 64 and Wave Race 64, aka the Shindo versions, helped popularize the Rumble Pak over there. It was still humble beginnings for rumbly controllers. And what I mean by that is the Rumble Pak had lots of room for improvement. It compromised the memory card slot. It required batteries. It was a bulky, heavy device to slap onto an already weirdly shaped controller. Nintendo may have been pioneers with the Rumble Pak, but they quickly found competition. Sega answered back with the Dreamcast Jump Pak, but Sony clapped back hard with the Dualshock. Credit Starfox 64 for being the first, but PlayStation Rumble was in both sides of the controller, had no batteries necessary, and contained probably the most iconic Rumble moment of all time.
Now I will move your controller.
The PlayStation DualShock set the vibration standard. However, Sony's haste to respond to Nintendo got them in some hot water for patent infringement from a company called Immersion. Microsoft was actually slapped with a similar suit. However, they settled with Immersion out of court. Sony, on the other hand, fought the lawsuit only to eventually lose the lawsuit in 2007. They then cut a deal with Immersion, and suddenly Rumble technology no longer affected the PlayStation 3's 6-axis technology. Funny how that happens. Who knew that was what it was?
Do you think anyone actually remembers that the original PS3 controllers Rumble?
I forgot that, yeah. Well, there's the DualShock 3, but the PlayStation 3 didn't ship with a DualShock 3, it shipped with 6-axis. It's
what a train wreck.
Video games are dumb.
They're really dumb.
But not Nintendo. The Rumble Pak technology was based off of their own patent, and so they were free to evolve their Rumble technology with, again, not the greatest results. Enter the Game Boy Color Rumble cartridges. Who needs accessories when you can just build the technology right into the cartridge? But remember, the Game Boy Color is a portable system. It's kind of weird to manufacture cartridges that make your system bulkier, but that never stopped Nintendo in the past or in the future. Didn't stop anyone who made portable games, so what are you gonna do? Plus, it once again required batteries, this time a single AAA. You know, I didn't actually look at the patents, but I wonder if all the batteries are how they were able to dodge the patent lawsuits. Anyway, there were 14 Rumble Pak Game Boy Color games released in North America. A majority were racing games, but there was sports, action, and of course, pinball. The flagship game being Pokemon Pinball. But yo, shoutouts to Little Mermaid 2 Pinball Frenzy. Actually, most of these are Game Boy Color only games, but feature a little notch cut out of the top, meaning that they do physically fit in a standard brick Game Boy. Still, physical compatibility aside, I think Pokemon Pinball is the only Game Boy Color Rumble game that's backwards compatible with non-color Game Boys. These Rumble games are pretty neat, and they're great for collectors, but they were far from perfect. Because the label is exposed, it's hard to find copies of these games with the labels that aren't all scuffed up. The battery is held in place by a little piece of plastic that isn't hinged inside, so it was gobbled up by school bus floors and backpacks immediately. I mean, they're basically the G.I. Joe plastic missiles of video games.
Or like the Barbie shoes.
Barbie shoes.
Yeah, Barbie shoes. The shoes just slip off the foot immediately.
G.I. Joe missiles and Barbie shoes. Thank you, Bruce and Grace, for that perspective. They're like Barbie shoes. But that was all basically in the late 90s. By the new millennium, Rumble was the standard for console controllers. Xbox, PS2, and Gamecube controllers were all made ready to rumble. In just half a generation too, which is pretty incredible when you think about it. And Nintendo mostly took a break with Rumble games on the GBA, except for a few notable exceptions. WarioWare Twisted is not only a ridiculous looking cartridge, it is an amazing game with both motion controls and Rumble. Again, not the most portable setup, but it wasn't the only one. There was also Drill Dozer, made by Game Freak. This is a super charming game that features vibration, but in a much less ridiculous cartridge. It actually goes deeper than that. Most Rumble action on the GBA was through the GameCube's GBA player. Say, for example, your copy of Drill Dozer plays fine, but the Rumble has stopped working. Plug it into the GameCube, and the drilling is once again a killin', but through a GameCube controller. And you can tell this by the GameCube player logo that you see at the start. That's how you know it has extra compatibility with the GBA player. And there are a few other games with this logo at startup, like Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3E, Pokemon Pinball Ruby Sapphire, and Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga, rest in peace, Alpha Dreams. Secret Rumble on the GameCube. I had no idea this whole time. That's what I get for using my fancy Super Nintendo throwback controller. It's a cool controller though still. Yet, Nintendo still did not give up on their rumbling ambitions, and the next generation was even wilder. After the GBA came the DS, and Nintendo made a Rumblepack special for the system's GBA slot. And we covered all this in our Secrets of the DS GBA slot videos, but it was first bundled with Metroid Prime Pinball in North America, and a ton of games work with it. However, if you don't have a Nintendo DS Rumble Pack, but you do have a copy of WarioWare Twisted just lying around, guess what? You have a fully functioning DS Rumble Pack. I mean, plug that sucker into your GBA slot and get that force feedback with partners in time. Interestingly though, Drill Dozer doesn't seem to work in place of the Rumble Pack, and WarioWare Twisted doesn't have as strong of a rumble as the official pack, but maybe they're just my copies of the game. Of course, the original DS and DS Lite slot solution represented a last hurrah for portable gaming vibration, as the Nintendo DSi and every 3DS, 2DS model would go on to feature no rumble whatsoever. I guess they went all in on the visual tech, and the Wii had plenty of immersion and feedback if you wanted it. Nintendo was still innovating, 3D, motion controls, that cute little speaker on the Wiimote. Nintendo kept innovating, but rumble feedback was no longer at the cool kids table. But you know what that means? That cool 3DS remake of Mario & Luigi, the only way to play that with rumble is with a GameCube and the original GBA cart. And WarioWare Gold's got a lot of levels from Twisted, but no rumble at all. And also the cartridge isn't crazy. They should have made WarioWare Gold with like an extra thing up this over the side. Should have had a little, lovely lady lump on that gold. Should have, missed opportunity. But from here, it did seem like Rumble wasn't ever going to evolve in any significant way, and the Wii U, PS4, and Xbox One didn't do anything to write home about Rumble-wise. But then came, they snap like that, right? Is that how they do it? Snap, snapping, snapping. The Nintendo Switch came and thrust upon the world Rumble HD, the H'est of Ds. Our collective Ds had never been rumbled so H before. So yeah, we all remember that Ice Cube demo thing, right? Basically, Nintendo finally decided to partner with Immersion, who you might remember as that company with a stranglehold on Rumble patents and who sued the crap out of Sony in the 2000s. HD Rumble is not a huge selling point for Nintendo's latest system, but it's something that's found, I think, great use on Switch games. 1-2 Switch features minigames that rely entirely on Rumble and not even looking at the TV. Mario Odyssey, I think, does a great job with a bevy of varied feedback from jumping, running, sliding to a stop. Though some games go a little overboard, like classic Doom, rumbling when you shoot, get shot, pick up an item, reload your shotgun. I appreciate the extra work, guys, but It's a little too much. Lumines Remastered allows you to hook up additional Joy-Cons that pulse to the music. Take that, Res Trance Vibrator. Golf Story used it really well, I thought. It also enhanced lockpicking in Skyrim. And indie game Tumbleseed claimed they wanted their game to be the flagship demonstration of HD Rumble. Yes, someone had to do it. I mean, 1-2 Switch didn't do it. Somebody had to.
I mean, it did it, but it just didn't sell well.
Yeah, no, and actually, it turns out this game didn't sell that well either. So, yeah. But is HD Rumble really Nintendo innovating here? I mean, this nuanced level of Rumble is now standard in most smartphones and watches. But wouldn't you know it, Immersion even sued Apple for the haptic feedback in iPhone 6. So Nintendo at least deserves credit for putting it in console controllers. And who knows, maybe Sony and Microsoft will put some form of HD Rumble in their new controllers. If that happens, I think you can once again give credit to Nintendo for pushing the industry forward, even if it is just a little jolt to your hands. All that video game rumbling, you might need a snack. You might work up an appetite. I love snacks. That's why I'm happy to say that this video is brought to you in part by Neat Snacks. They're snacks, but they're neat. This is a box of snacks that you can get. Check out the link below. Use the offer code TAKE5. Get $5 off an order for you. You get a crazy box full of surprise snacks. Like this thing, Kadena. Spicy. Doesn't smell spicy. Well, if you get your package is gonna be giant red with a giant red pepper on it. I guess I expected a little more spice. It's more salty than spicy. 2.5 stars out of 5. Yeah, this looks like Japanese. Some peach stuff. Oh, that's really sweet. It's chewy, but it has this nice like layer of sugar on it. This is like 4 stars out of 5.
You actually like that one?
Yeah, this one's really good.
Let me try it.
Yeah, try some. That says juice, and that says peachy. And this has been Japanese Corner with Derek. I like this guy. I'm vibing with this guy. That's confidence in your candy. When like this is your logo. What? It's like freeze-dried French fries? I was imagining them being saltier. Not bad. That's not bad. But we got a cool Lucky Kitty. Oh, wow. Purpley, little marbly things. Grapey. Tastes like grapes. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 stars. Next we have, got some cool cows. Oh, wow. Look at the texture on the little cracker here. Oh, it's like salty rice flavor. It's like a rice treat. 4 out of 5. I like that one.
Really good.
I like that one, yeah. Oh, I like this guy. I like this. This dude's cute. Looks like a cute ghost. I have no idea what it is. Lemony? Lemon, kind of cream and sugary. Fuarinka. Makes you comfortable with the scent of rose. Who's not comfortable with roses? I'm not comfortable with the spikiness on the rose. Whoa. Whoa.
How comfortable?
It's like not comfortable. I'm uncomfortable with the intensity of that. Whoa, buddy. I'm like tasting it in my nose. Like, it's definitely interesting what they're doing here, but I don't like it. I don't know. Oof. Get that away from me. I'm good. If you want to go on your own neat snack adventure, hit the link below and TAKE5 will get you the code $5 off. They send you a box of snacks once a month. And you know what? You're going to expand your palate. You're going to find all kinds of weird stuff. So I want to say thank you so much to Neat Snacks for sponsoring this part of the video. But I must stop snacking for now. Thank you so much for watching. This video is also brought to you in part by our lovely Patreon supporters who have now been supporting this show for almost 5 years. Also, one of our supporters let us borrow their copy of Pokemon Pinball, WarioWare Twisted, and Drill Dozer. We've used them in videos before. We might use them again, but we're just about ready to send those back to you, man. Thank you so much for letting us borrow them. Let's see, man. We're back to streaming. It's 2020. We're back full-time working again streaming. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on your YouTube. Hit a like if you like it. Go ahead and hit the bell if you're feeling well, if you're feeling swell. Rumble the bell and wrestle the thumb. There we go. Yeah, keep watching. 2020 is just getting started, man. We are just getting started. It's gonna be a year. It's always a year, but definitely a year with Uncle Derek, Producer Grace. Stick around. Stay tuned. See you again real soon.